Alright, so we got front and rear cylinder on. Next up is some nice head gaskets. These are 30,000 MLS head gaskets. There is a certain way to do this. So we got these instructions on how to do it. I guess there is a front cylinder and a rear cylinder. So kind of backwards though, because if this is the cam side, which is this side, you would think it'd be the other way, which I guess it doesn't matter because as long as they're like that, oriented that way, shouldn't matter, right? So we're gonna go ahead and put them on there, see what they look like first. I'll do a little bit because I want to make sure the rear cylinder is this one. It doesn't have a rubber downside, but it does say this little more, or this little rig needs to be facing that way. So it would go. See, that wouldn't work. That would go like this. Okay, maybe like this. There, that makes more sense. Alright. And then the front one, cam side, would be like this. Front cylinder, so like that. That makes tons more sense. Yeah, that'll work. That looks right. That's way better. So I'm going off of these little rivets that hold here. They hold the multi-layers together. And then again, front, which is that side. Your dowel pins are right here in the corner, so that one should be facing outwards, which it is. And it'd be facing backwards right here, which it is. On the front, the lower one, or on the cam side, would be facing towards the front, right here, or more forward, right here. And the back one would be facing towards that way. So that's about right. Everything else looks good. We'll go ahead and unbox these new heads and let you guys get a look at them. Man, they're sweet, super sweet. Right. So here they are. These are CNC ported from Kyomoto. Super nice job on them. Very nice. Yeah, very, very, very nice on them. Super happy. They do have the 580 springs on it. Very nice. Very nice heads, man. I'm super happy with them. Very good finish, very good job on them. So this one is supposed to be the front. Double check. Front should have, yep, both motor mount positions. Set this one. That looks pretty good. It's very good. Very good. Super happy about that one. Very nice. Make sure nothing's in the way of it. I like it. I like it. All right. So because we did new head studs, of course, we got new head bolts. And S&S requires, they are S&S, they're not ARPs. We're balling on a budget here, guys, so S&S is a dang good brand too. So we got right there new head bolts. Still 12 point, supposed to be better, stronger, I guess. Either way, they definitely say that the old ones are torque to yield, which to be honest, I think these are too. So I might have not got the ones I thought I got. We'll have to look more into that, but either way, for this build, these are perfect. There is a special torque sequence on these, not just what the instructions on the head gaskets say. This one does say there's just, the torque sequence on them. And then it says tighten X pattern 9 to 11 pounds. Tighten all head bolts using X pattern to 25 to 27. The final torque is 90 degrees. So it is a torque to yield, I think. Yeah. Not good. Not bad. I was hoping this will be foot-pounds, but no big deal. But because these are S&S new bolts, we're not going based off of those instructions. We're going to go to S&S, and there is a certain, I think it's to, I'm assuming it's to get the bolt stretch on them. So we're going to tighten these, or we're going to set these down here and tie it real quick just so they're on there. Which actually, we're going to put a dab of oil inside these threads, just because I didn't put a dab of oil on the head bolts or the head studs. So we're going to put a little dab of oil in here just so it's lubed up as it goes on there. So you don't want to run dry bolts. Not going to do much, just enough to wet the bolt, Nothing crazy. Don't need nothing crazy, just so they won't be dry when they go on there. Very simple. It's going to be a tedious process, because it does say I briefly read the instructions yesterday or the day before that, I can't remember, and it did say they need to be basically all the way torqued and then undone and then retorqued again to the required or the specified specs. So we'll get them all snug. And then we're going to follow the instructions on exactly how to stretch these bolts the right way. So we're going to do the next two. I'm not going to record the full process on this just because if you guys don't put new bolts on, new studs and new bolts, you guys don't have to do this. So it's kind of irrelevant for you guys to stay tuned and watch this whole thing, this whole process. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the video. I'm going to get these other ones knocked out and the back, and then we'll torque them all together on one time. Alright, so we're on our final torque spec on the rear head. Earlier, remember we talked about the whole 90 degrees at the end? Well, I forgot that this is the torque specs for factory Harley bolts. They are torque to yield. The S&S bolts, head bolts that I got for this are not torque to yield. They are a final torque of 45 foot-pounds, which is what I'm pretty sure that's what I thought. So we did the front head already. So to do the bolt stretch on these, it was 10 foot-pounds. Well, you get them finger tight. First step. Second step was 10 foot-pounds. Third step was 20 foot-pounds. Fourth step was 30 foot-pounds, and then break them. A quarter of a turn. The same sequence, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. So break them loose again, and then you start again from 10. So we're going to go ahead and do our final torque spec now, which is 10 foot-pounds. The first sequence is 10 foot-pounds. So we're going to go ahead and get our torque wrench, set it to 10 pounds. Fire it up first. 10 foot-pounds. 10 foot-pounds. 1. 10 foot-pounds. 10. Then we go to, what's the next one? 20. So we go torque wrench to 20. 20. 20. Next one I believe is 25. Yeah, 25. 25. Next one is 30. 30. Alright, 30. Oh, this one's 35. Yeah, 35. 35. The last one was 45, right? Yeah, 45. Crazy how 45 foot-pounds ain't a whole lot, but when you go to work all day, come home, that little 45 pounds feels like doing the whole front head and the rear head now. 45 pounds is a good amount. That was making me work a little bit over here sweating. Fine. Last one, this side, is also 45. All right, so both heads are torqued at 45 foot-pounds for the final torque. Instructions does say though, wait 15 minutes. I'm going to read it here. Wait 15 minutes, then recheck each bolt at 45 foot-pounds using the same torque sequence. So because we already did the front, we're going to go ahead and double check the 45 foot-pounds on the front. By that time we'll give this one time to maybe settle. Double check this one. So we're going to go ahead and do the front one at 45 foot-pounds. And then we'll check the rear one again. So front one, 45 foot-pounds. All looks good. 1, 2. That's 45 there. Got a little bit of a skip on us, but they say double check it. It's 45. And we'll go ahead and check this front one. Double check it. Triple check it apparently. We've done it a few times, so. That was on nice. Alright, so front head is good, torqued. Like I said, this is the final torque sequence on this one. These are S&S bolts, not the factory Harley bolts. On S&S, the final torque spec is 45. If you are reusing your head bolts, which I mean, you can. They say not to. You do at your own discretion. But if you are using factory bolts, this is the torque sequence. Recommended 9 to 11. Second torque sequence is 25 to 27 foot-pounds, and the final torque is 90 degrees. So keep that in mind if you are using factory style head bolts. There is, if you're using well, let me not lie to you. So if you read the top Tighten all head bolts in the recommended X pattern to 20 to 30 foot-pounds. Loosen all head bolts one turn, and then do the X pattern 9 to 11, 25 to 27, then 90 degrees at the final torque spec. There's how you're supposed to orientate the MLS head gaskets. So if you need to review that, there you go. If not, like I said, if you go with the S&S bolts, which are, this is the head bolt model number, and then this is this head stud model number. So if you do get these, if you click this QR code right there, it'll take you to the instructions, which is what I got pulled up on my cell phone over there, and that'll give you the full rundown on the torque spec, torque sequence, and the torque sequence, which is right. Let's see if I can slide this over. So it does explain that if you're using the MLS gasket, which is what we are using, you use this top side. If you're using a graphite composite style head gasket, you use installation instruction 4 down. Those are how you're supposed to tighten them up if you're using those S&S head studs and bolts. And then there's your torque sequence, or whatever you want to say, or your pattern you're supposed to do, which really is just an X. Doesn't really matter. I'm gonna say that, but it probably does matter, so you do that as you will. So yeah, man, we're gonna go ahead and do final check the rear head. We are about probably 10 minutes from touching that thing. Probably not. A few minutes, so no big deal. Once I feel like it's been enough time, close to 15 minutes, I will retorque the rear head to 45 foot-pounds, make sure that's squared away, and then we will start with all the other goodies, man. So stay tuned, man. We're gonna button this thing up pretty quick. Now there ain't much left of this. One thing, if you guys notice, I did go ahead and do S&S rocker arm studs. I did buy some studs, man. I got a really good deal on them from an older lady. She ended up giving me a heck of a deal on those. I could have passed them up. They're a stud kit for the inmates. That's your part number there. Instead of using this is the factory style bolt that holds down your rocker arms. Well, as you see now, we got studs. It is still a 12-point head. They're in here still, but once we get to that, you'll see. So yeah, man, we're getting this. This top pin should be pretty stout, man. Like, you know, big, nice, big bore kit. At the end of the day, this is a grudge bike. I will be drag racing this bike. As you know, so I'm not gonna give full description on what's inside of it, but just know we got a nice big bore kit. The heads are just nice heads from Fuel Moto. Pick your poison, you'll find the same as what's in that. There is 580 lift springs in it. We are going with a 64 throttle body. Some things done to that, of course. Same thing with the cam. It is a Cyclorama cam. Not gonna say too much about it. But yeah, man, we're trying to make a good stout, a max effort stock bottom end bike, basically. So the run out was really good on it. We're gonna see, hopefully it'll last all summer, and then over the winter, will probably tear it down. I really am gonna push towards saving some of my pennies up to get a nice dark horse crank in this bad boy next winter. So we might tear this whole bike back apart. We'll see. Who knows? I might. Again, you never know. It might sell. It might sell. We don't know. Kind of want to sell my Road Glide and get a newer style, a Netmate Road Glide, because it's a twin cam. I love the twin cams, but again, I like power, so Netmate's kind of throw a simple cam and you're making 120 horsepower, 125 horsepower, and 130 something foot-pounds of torque with just a cam. So we'll see. We'll think about that. But for now, that's what we're working with. Yeah, stay tuned, man. We're gonna go ahead and retorque this rear cylinder, and then we'll start on all the goodies on top.